The Pursuit to Win with J.P. Irwin. Each week, we uncover the journey and the stories of those who have learned to win in the marketplace. Hear the struggle, the challenges, and what it took to succeed. They say a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Join us each week as we take a deep dive into the lives of those who have built successful companies, become financially wealthy, and went through firsthand what it takes to make it. Hear their stories, the advice they give on what to do and what not to do as we discuss the work environment of yesterday, today, and the future. Thank you for joining us on the Pursuit to Win, the 10X Kids Edition. My name is J.P. Irwin.
And I am Parker.
And this is week 2. If you didn't watch last week, go back and watch that episode. We give you a little background on why we're doing this. Also, a little information on Parker and the success he's been having by applying 10X to his life. He's got a new business he's going to be launching and ended up speaking on Grant Cardone's stage. Amazing year that he's having. And so him and I sat down and we got talking about the new book that Grant launched. And Parker wanted to read, together this book. So we're reading a chapter each week and then discussing what we learned from this chapter with you. Because Grant Cardone, he did a great job with this book to help inspire young kids like yourself. And you need to read this book. So we're going to start with chapter 1. So we read the welcome last week. This week we read chapter 1, which is 10X your goals, think big. And so Grant says, approach every situation with a whatever it takes mindset. Do what others refuse to do. Parker, what'd you think about this first chapter?
I thought it was pretty good. It had some good details on what you should do to think bigger. And yeah. And
so one thing I noticed in the book, Grant says, why do people not reach their goals?
It's not because they're lazy. It's because some people don't think big enough. They need to think bigger. Like if I had a goal for $10,000, which I do, I am aiming for 100,000.
So aim higher than the actual goal.
And after I hit that 100,000, I'm aiming for 1 million, baby. Woo!
There you go. And so Grant says, show me someone who's excited about their life and I'll show you someone who's doing big things. There were some really good stories, I thought, in this book. The first one, actually, do you want to tell them about the first person? There was a little boy named Sammy, and what did he want?
Sammy wanted to make his own, not make his own. He wanted to build his own car. Come on.
Keep going, you're good.
He wanted to buy his own car.
There you go.
But his friends told him that he should just ride the bus. But he just got more motivated and he decided he would buy his car. He pictured what it would be like to be inside that car. He pictured what it smelled like, what it felt like, what it looked like, how everything felt. Yeah.
So you had some really good takeaways. The first one I want to talk about, you mentioned his friends.
Yeah.
So his friends were doubters, right?
They shot him down on his idea.
Yeah, they shot him down. So a lot of times in life, that's what happens. You have this great idea and you're all excited about it. And then somebody comes along and they say, nah, you shouldn't do that. You can't do that. And just because they've got that set in their mind does not mean that you have to have that set in your mind. So block that out. If there's a goal, a dream that you have, go after it, make a plan, put something in place so you focus on that every single day and don't listen to the naysayers. Keep going and prove them wrong. And the other thing that I really liked that you mentioned was about him visualizing it. Why do you think that was important?
So that way he could be even more motivated to buy it.
Yeah.
He visualized every single detail.
Yeah. So in life, you need to dream. You need to think big, the things that you want in life, and you need to picture it. What is it going to be like when you have it? Start thinking of all those things, because when you get your mind wrapped around what it could be like, and then you put a plan in place, you make it a lot easier to achieve it. And the other story that I really liked was you talked about a boy named, was it Michael? Yeah, Michael.
Michael.
Who was Michael? Can you tell us a little bit about him?
He wanted to start his own shoe company. He had a good style, and his friends liked that, so they copied everything he did, like his style. And then he would dream about his shoe company in the future, what it would look like and all that. And then he would take shoes apart, put them back together like old ones.
And he was pretty dedicated, right?
Yes.
So one thing, Michael, that stood out to me that Michael mentioned was, he missed some time hanging out with his friends. But sometimes there's sacrifices that you need to make. If there's something that you really want, sometimes you lose that playtime or free time. But if you stay committed, at the very end, all of his buddies, they're all really excited that he made his dream come true and he was hanging out with all of them. And he'd accomplished what he set out to do, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing that Grant does in this book that I really like is he writes down all the different goals, and he wants you to write something down and set a goal. So whether that's your money or finances, whether it's your physical health, religion, maybe you have goals with your family or your friends, fun things you want to do in your life, or maybe, you're already working, you've got work goals. He leaves spots in here to write down these big goals that you have in all those areas. Because 10X is not just about 10Xing your money or 10Xing your job. It's about 10Xing your whole life. It's about taking every aspect of your life and picturing what you want and making it happen. It's about having great relationships. It's about having, basically a great overall life, a super life. And the other thing that I like that Grant does in this book is writing your goals down. So he talks about, visualize what you want and then write down your goals. Write them down every morning, write them down every night. A lot of times Grant writes his goals down when he's struggling, when there was something going on in his day and he's losing focus, he goes back to writing his goals down. That way he stays focused. So what do you think about that in helping to achieve what you want? Do you think writing your goals helps?
Yeah.
It does?
Certainly.
Why do you think writing them every morning, every night would help you get to your goal that you're looking to achieve?
So that you can remember what your goal is.
Correct.
Daily.
Yeah, so you can remember it. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think you need to have laser focus. If it's something you really want, you need to write it down. Because a lot of people say, I wish I could do this. A month goes by, they forgot about it. They haven't done any work on it. And guess what? They're still standing at the same spot they were when they first thought of that idea. When you put it down on paper and you write it down every day, every morning, every night, you now start to make that goal realistic. So I really enjoyed the first chapter. What about you?
Yeah. Another thing I'd like to add to the writing down your goals every night and day. Another thing that can help you remember is dream when you write it down at night. Maybe you will have a dream about making your goal happen.
Yeah, that's true. The more you think about it, the more you picture it, the more likely you're going to make it happen. And it's not just thinking about it. What else you got to do?
Achieve it.
And make a plan, right? You got to make a plan. How am I going to get there?
Make it reality.
And then make it reality. Yeah, so I really liked the first chapter. Next week, we'll be talking about 10X your money. Invest big. So I'm looking forward to reading this chapter with Parker and discussing this with all of you. And I just want to speak on Parker a little bit. If you haven't been following him, look up. You'll see in the background these videos. Actually, this one right here. This 13-year-old kid made $1,800 in my stage in 2 minutes. Google that. You'll see on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, every platform. This video went viral. Parker told Grant on his stage, he asked him, he said, what advice do you have for a young person like me? Grant did the same thing. He gave him a goal. He told him, you need to set a goal, in which he gave him, what was that goal?
10 grand.
10 grand. And he said, now you need to leverage your age. And he said, how are you going to make that money? What idea do you have for a business? And what did you tell him your business idea?
Repairing broken phones.
Yeah. And then from there, so you told him that. You raised on stage $1,800 because a bunch of people were giving you money, wanting to prepay for phones to be fixed. So that all happened. The video went viral. And then who reached out after that?
Tim.
Yeah, from
Techie.
Tim from Techie. And so Tim from Techie, you'll see online in the side-by-side, he did a remix. Tim said, Parker, I want to help you get going. I want to help you with a build out of your store and launching it. And so Parker's actually going down in January for training for his new store. We'll be down there with him and looking to launch his new store in the beginning of 2022. So this all started from an idea. Parker literally took his own money, bought all the tools at home. I saw him taking apart everything we had. Some things I was like, Parker, don't touch that, leave that alone. But he wanted to know how everything works. So he was taking things apart and fixing them. And then took that idea of one day I want to own my own store to, we had an opening at the conference to have someone else come with us. And Parker said, I want to go. I want to hear Grant speak. He went to that conference and then started talking to business owners, introducing himself. Talking to all these people, and then raised his hand and said, I want to be on Grant's stage. And boom, he went on Grant's stage, told him his idea.
That's Tim
from Techie. Yeah, that's Tim. He then reached out and boom, now Parker has been making cold calls, finding people to help invest and putting all the money together to launch this store. That all started from an idea. And he's 13 years old. So if you think you're too young, you think you can't do it, he is walking proof that you can achieve anything that you dream of. So what do you think, Parker? You pretty excited for this?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. And we're here to help inspire you. So if you want to learn more about Parker, find this video, follow him online, and follow us. This is The Pursuit to Win. We'll be doing a lot of interviews with business owners and people that have succeeded in the marketplace to tell their stories and share it with you, because everybody starts off just like you and I, and they can go out and achieve great things, and you can learn from those lessons. So thank you for joining us on The Pursuit to Win. Join us next week as we dive into the next chapter of the 10X Kids book, brought to you by Grant Cardone. I'm JP Irwin.
And I'm Parker, and we're signing off.
And we're signing off. Give us a follow and tune in. Thank you for joining us on The Pursuit to Win. My name is JP Irwin, and we will see you next time.